Hi guys. Okay, as you can see, the wood frame is gone. Before I get back to the original configuration, I wanted to share something with you before I take all these magnets off this wheel here. Numerous people keep saying, why don't you just put magnets all the way around? I've learned what happens is that something odd takes place. I can't explain it. I don't know if it's kind of like a circuit that shorts out, a magnetic circuit, if you will. I'm not sure why, but you have to have at least a gap. See, I've got a gap here to here, okay? And that seems to work pretty good. Now, this configuration here was never intended for this configuration here. But I know some of you have been asking and curious, so I figured, okay, let me just show you here what's going on. This does not work, period. But I'll show you, okay? Let me try to give this a good little push and watch what happens. It initially accelerates, but it doesn't accelerate enough to keep the wheel going. See, it picks up again. Now, maybe if I had more stators over here and over here to keep capitalizing on the momentum, then yes, maybe we do have something. I'm sorry, maybe you wanted to watch that come back. It'll stop there, now it'll swing back. It wants to work in this direction because of the way I have these tilted. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you. Now, what's interesting though, is that here's the original stator I built some time ago. I wish I had created a mount for this over here, but I'm going to hold it by hand, which is a little tricky. But when I put this here by hand over here, it seems to assist the wheel quite a bit. So watch this. Okay. Hold this right about here. Okay, right there. See, it really wants to help out a lot. But it's not going to be enough because I have to have more of these around the wheel. See, it pulls right into the stator, the one that I made years ago. But just not enough stators on here to do much of anything. So let me try this. Let's take these off. Okay, now let's just spin this for the heck of it and see what's going on. See how these are coming into play. Now, isn't that interesting? Huh, look at that. Interesting. See what happens when it comes back. I know it's just coming to a stop. Okay, so now let me put this back here and hold this by hand. This is too far away from here. It's got to be pretty close. And also, these are angled down. This wheel dimensions of thickness is a little bit more than 1 inch. So these magnets don't stay pointing straight out. So causing a little bit of problem for testing. Don't worry, I will get a better setup. Okay, now let's try this again. Move this here. Now watch this. Come on. There we go. See how it takes off? But it doesn't have enough momentum to keep going. But watch, if I hold it right here, right between, I'm going to hold it right between 2 of the armature magnets. It will take off. A gentleman was saying, if I can't do this between magnets, or stator magnets, or armature magnets for that matter, then I don't have anything. Well, I do have something. Watch this. It still wants to take off. Magnets, or armature magnets for that matter, then I don't have anything. Well, I do have something. Watch this. It still wants to take off. Okay? But I need more stators, obviously. Okay. I'm going to cut the footage on this. I'm going to change this out. Okay. On this one here, we just have 1 magnet here. I'll put the box on this. You're all going to see something very interesting here in a minute. Okay. I put the box in there so you can see when this wheel makes 1 complete turn. You'll see there's no other magnets on here. None. See? Okay, I take this off. to see how this works with these here, this steel. See how much interaction there is or isn't. Seems what an interaction with these is very negligible. Because the fields are pointing out this way. They're not projecting this way. Basically what we have here is we have a flux like this and a flux like that, instead of it pointing out like that. Okay, so it might be looking at these a little bit, but not much. All right, so now let's put these other magnets back. Oh, wow, look at that. It's already seeing this. That's how far away these two interact with each other. Let's see something here. Okay. Okay, let me put some more on there. Y'all want to see it happens just with one stator? Watch. Get this come around. The attraction will kick in. It's kicking in, and the repulsion kicks in. Okay, so we add another magnet here. Okay, now two. We should get a little bit more kick. It's in attraction mode. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I got this backwards. No, it's forward. Okay, try this again. Okay, see, it kicks it up nicely. Okay. Yes, I know that it's got some momentum going on. All that matters is that it has more speed when it leaves than what it had when it came in, when it first came in. Here's three. Now it has even more speed when it leaves here than when it came in. Now let's try four. Okay. Do a little push. Now it has a lot more speed when it leaves. So if I had a set of 4 more stators here and 4 more over there, then it would leapfrog from this set to the next set to the next set. I know I'm assuming things, but I bet you I'm right. Because on this set here, as long as it has a little bit of momentum, doesn't take much. See how little it took? That's all it takes to make it through and get out. And see, it's way over there now. Look how far it is. It's right, I'll put the box on it. That magnet's right there. Okay, and I'll swing it around so you can see that I'm right. Okay, see, there's the magnet with where the box is. Now, another point here is that the gentleman was talking about, I'm not going to mention names, that if I can't put my magnet between the armature magnet, between the stator magnets, and let go of the wheel, and it doesn't move on its own, then I have nothing. But if and I'm not sure if he has a point or not, that's irrelevant. I'm just addressing the guy's concern. So, but if this will move on its own, despite its dead center between these two, when I let go, then I have something. Watch. It's hard to let go of this wheel without accidentally moving it. Okay. There you go. I'll do it here on this last set here. Okay, now watch. It works. It wants to go out. Okay, now these two are too far apart. I've tried it. It doesn't want to work. I moved this over. I don't know if you all noticed, but this is now closer, but apparently I just didn't move it quite far enough. Okay, so, and I'll show you here. It will not work. It'll sit there. See, it's not going to move. Okay, but here it will. And here it will. Okay. Now, there was a lady, I don't want to mention names on my channel, okay? But this lady here, she's got a pretty good head on her shoulders. She's making very interesting observations. She made a 17-minute video for me talking about, you know, the North and the South and how about setting up and creating a dead zone so the counter pull would not be a factor. And then, of course, Dale, a good friend of mine I've known quite some time now, I guess many years now. We talk on occasion over the phone. He's got an outstanding head on his shoulder as well. And to address the concern from a few people is the Cogging effect. Now, Cogging is when the stator wants to rest between slightly and then continue, and then it has a rest point, and then continues in a slight rest point, and it causes this to go okay? That's what Cogging is. Cog, 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 cog. Now, we have a little bit of cogging going on through here because these are too far apart. but there's zero cogging, and if there is any cogging, so negligible I can't measure it, which might become a problem at higher speeds, because if I ever get this to actually work, not to say that I can or can't, but this, if this turns out to work with the additional sets of stators, a set of four, then if it has any speed later on, then that's going to cause possibly vibration from the cogging. But right now, I don't sense or feel any cogging, and this is what's interesting, and this is why. As previously mentioned before, in case you're new to my channel, and if so, welcome, and glad to have you here, and thank you for spending a little time with me. But this here is in attraction mode. And of course, when it comes over to this side, this is the opposite, because the poles are on each side. This is north, this is south. So south over here, north over here. And this here, see, this is south, south, and south. Okay, so these all set to the same polarity. So this is south. So anytime when this swings past one of these stators, it goes into repulsion mode. When it's on this side, it's in attraction mode. Okay, so what happens here is when it's in the middle, if you want to call it a dead zone, like some of you are talking about, it's between north and south attraction. But interestingly enough, the dead zone is like not quite in the middle. It's like right about there. That's weird. It's way over here is where the dead zone is. Oh, look, I got it. Oh, no, I almost got it to stay still. There you go. Okay, that's the dead zone. That's when north and south are equal. So what happens, though, when it gets handed off from one side to the other, since the force, it's going to move on its own. Look, check that out. It eventually figured this out. Wow, that's pretty cool. That was a long time for that wheel to stay what I thought was absolutely still. But apparently it really wasn't absolutely still, because if it was absolutely still, perfectly still, I don't think it would have moved at all. Okay, so the cogging issue is gone, because what's happening here, as it's going from repulsion back into attraction mode, the pull and repulsion and attraction are equal. So if one side is 60% and it's 40% here, as it swings around, this becomes 55, and this becomes 65, and as this becomes 70, this becomes 30. So it hands it off, a very smooth handoff, if you will, of power, of pull. So it does the same thing here. So there's no cogging going on. Now, like I said, this is so far apart. Yes, there's a little bit of cogging going on here. But when I move this over further, that cogging here will go away. So I wanted to show this to you. And I'll put another magnet on here and show you what happens when you put two together. It's pretty interesting. Okay. It's not in attraction mode so far. This is just, I think this is too far away, and the angle may not be right. Okay, so let me put on another magnet here. Let me show you what happens. Make sure I got this in the right mode. Okay. Wait a minute. Is this the... Okay, wait a minute. Okay, that's correct. So I flip this around. We'll put this here pretty close together. If I get them too close, then they'll just slam together. Now watch this. It really has got some oomph. I mean, that's really got some extra power now, using two of these mother hudgers. Like, can't wait to see how YouTube translates mother hudger into text. Okay. That is significantly improved. Now, the other thing, too, is that nothing's set up mathematically even here. This is all screwed up. Because one of the things that was pointed out by a couple, maybe 3 or 4 of you, but at least 1 or 2 of you, that I mentioned as well, maybe a video or 2 back by now, is that when you have more than one magnet on it, what needs to be happening is that this needs to be in repulsion mode. At the exact same time, this is in attraction mode. And since the attraction mode is way over here, this needs to be put over further. Let's see here. I'd have to figure out the math on just one of these and then convert the math all the way around. Right now, I'm just winging it. But this should be in repulsion mode now. And this should be in attraction mode. Actually, better probably have to swing this around more. Push that around more. Okay. Let's see how much better that works now. Remember, this is not going to line up properly with these two. This is all screwed up. Okay, so now let's see what we got here. I don't have that tweaked right. Let's push these back a little bit, maybe a little bit further apart. Okay, now let's try it. Yeah, there you go. Now it's working better now. Look, it's way over there. Let me stop this. And where's the box? They put this box on the last magnet right there. This will show you how far it kicked the wheel around this time. See? So if I just had only one more set of stators over there, those stators would have taken over and pushed it all around, and then this would have picked up again. Okay, but I think just 2 sets of stators of 4 is not the way to go. I'm going to do 3. And the reason being I'm going to go for 3 sets because I have a very interesting plan ahead. Any of you all know anything about 3D chess? You know, there's a game of chess. Well, I keep explaining that there's a problem when you put a bunch of magnets real tightly together. But what do you think if I was to take and put 1/3 of the magnets on this level, this plane, okay, and then come up a foot, maybe 10 inches, and then do the second third of the circle up at this level, and then another 10 inches higher, do another third of the circle the rest of the way. So each third of the circle would overlap in like a staircase, like a spiral staircase, but there would be no spiral. It would be just straight levels. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so as each wheel moved around, the next level would kick in, and there'd be another set of stators higher up at the next level to capitalize on those, and then the one up higher. Basically, when you would look at this configuration, it would look exactly, just by coincidence or otherwise, it will look exactly like a camshaft in an old-fashioned combustion engine. I kid you not. It will look like a camshaft. Now, that's not why I'm doing it, but the idea just popped in my head to break up this circle problem that I have when you put a lot of magnets on a wheel. It just, something goes wrong. There are videos online that says otherwise, where they have a whole bunch of magnets, the per dev, whatever it's called, and it seems to be running. Nobody's been able to duplicate that, and those who have videos that claim they've duplicated it, it's just fancy, crappy-ass music. Nobody's talking. No one's going into any detail at all. So I just believe, like some others here who making comments, don't believe that ever worked. So, in best I know of, I don't know if anybody has actually made magnets on a wheel that actually will work. Now, thank you to the gentleman who posted the link to the German guy who made the German motor. It was apparently in 1966. Again, his name I'll never be able to pronounce. But the video I saw was translated into English, and it was amazing what he accomplished. So it is possible, apparently. It really is possible to create a motor that will move on its own power from just magnets alone. The question is, am I on the right path? And by the way, you all keep saying, don't abandon your shielding. That's the way to go. I can't believe you're going to do that. Who said I was abandoning my shielding? My God. No, I'm just showing what's possible without shielding. And what I will do is I will introduce shielding as need be if it needs to be reintroduced. So I've not abandoned this concept by any means. Oh, speaking of this, let's try this now over here with this on here. I don't think it'll work because this is just the wrong configuration. Because this is pointing this way, the poles, instead of pointing out this way. But I'll just try it, see what happens. I don't think it'll work. Nah, it doesn't want to work. Nope. It works on this fine, but this doesn't want to work. Let me turn this the other way, see if it helps any. I don't think it will. Nah. It's gotten worse. Yeah, this stator is not designed for this configuration. Okay, well, that's basically it. I want to let you all know something here. I have hundreds of thousands of watch hours on this channel. Yet YouTube will not allow me to monetize this channel because it wants me to have 4,000 of those hours within a single year, a year that's on a sliding scale that keeps moving and moving and moving. So whatever happened 13 months ago doesn't count. Only what happened 12 months ago up until now. So that 365-day window keeps moving and sliding and sliding and sliding and sliding. It's like the goalpost keeps moving and being moved and moved every 24 hours. So I've got to get my watch hours up. The reason being, I want to be able to, I'm retired and I have limited funds. I got to be careful so my money lasts, so I don't outlive my money. And I should be fine. I really should if I just be smart about things. So I need to get this channel going so maybe I can make $500 or $1,000 a month. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it will pay for magnets and it'll pay for a lot of other stuff. I mean, that's $6,000 to $12,000 a year. But if I can really get some videos that have wow factors, I mean, it really shows this is working, then I could get anywhere maybe from 1 to 5 million views on a single video or two. Those views are channel-wide over the whole channel, not one video. It's the whole channel is what counts. So I need your all support. Share links. Telegraph, I don't know what happened, but somebody in Telegraph shared one of my links. And oh my gosh, suddenly one of my videos just started taking off. So I'm going to have to explore more about Telegraph. I don't keep up with all of this stuff, but obviously I'm going to have to. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I will never place advertisements in the middle of my videos. It'll always be in the beginning or always at the end. I promise you, I'm not going to put them in the middle. So, and the ads that you're seeing now, I have nothing to do with. YouTube changed their rules, and now they're making money off their advertisements off my photography, which is technically legal in the United States. You can't use my photography in my video to make you money without my permission. And YouTube does not have my permission, yet they're making buku bucks. I mean, a lot of money. They're making literally with almost 500,000 views. Who knows how much money they made off of those from advertising. They probably made a couple $1 million, maybe way more. But anyway, here nor there, I need your all's help. So give me the watch hours and pass me around a Telegraph, whatever that is, something new to me. And we'll see where all this goes. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I guess I'll humor us all. Let's put one more of these on here. But this is not quite the same kind of magnet. It's a little different. It has a hole in it. It's not quite as strong. But we'll just try it for the heck of it and see what happens. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be helping any. Let me change the spacing on this a little bit. Nah, this magnet's not helping at all. It's hindering things because it's not the same. It's a totally different strength. And there we go. That left faster than what it was when it came in. And that's what matters. I've got some people who are leaving comments saying this is all BS. Well, I don't care what they have to say, but the bottom line is that what we see here, the results we see here are real. I don't have anything underneath the table to enhance this. In fact, I'll take the phone off the stand and bring the phone underneath to show you what's going on underneath the table. People go, why doesn't he show us underneath the table? I have the same concerns as well. When I'm seeing some videos, they never show us underneath the table because people use induction plates. Let's see down here. This is a bunch of boxes I need to unpack. I'm still in the process of moving in, so I haven't unpacked everything. Okay, anyway, here nor there, I appreciate, as I like to say, your time, and thank you so much for your support. Take care.